what I did want to address was this question of, where do you get your ethics and morality from? And, the thing about, if we're talking spirituality and religion now, I think those are, organized, a form of organized belief system based off of a people's culture. So, for example, if you study, Islam, a lot of the Islamic beliefs come from Arab culture. So it's not that the religion gives the culture its ethics or its morality. It's the culture, it's the morality and the ethics of the culture that informs the religion. And I think this even applies to African spirituality. When you look at the ethics of African spirituality, it's not that the spirituality is informing the ethics of African people. It's the ethics of African people that are informing the spirituality. So I think you can have those things without necessarily having a form of a spirituality or even having a belief in, a god or a deity or a creator, because I think those ethics, they come from the culture and the society, and then that's what the spirituality is built around, rather.
Absolutely. And just to veggie back on what you were saying, I'm gonna say veggie back rather than piggyback, because I don't eat swine. I ain't down to with the swine group. But
no pork on his fork.
Absolutely correct. Dr. Jacob Carruthers, in his seminal book, Intellectual Warfare, which I have right here, right? He talks about that religion really is institutionalized cultural nationalism. When I was an undergrad and I studied cultural anthropology, that's what we found, right? That the consensus in the field of cultural anthropology was that the culture, the values of the culture, were then put into the religion and then raised to a religious or theological level. This is why Dr. Molefi Asante, in his book Afrocentricity, talks about how Islam is Arab-centered. Right. And so oftentimes what you find with African people who adopt many alien religions is they go through a process of self-abnegation, that in order to get closer to the divine, they have to separate themselves from their own history, heritage, and culture and adopt someone else's. And we know that leads to a whole nother can of worms that we could do a whole nother show on. So